Hey guys, what is going on? Jurgen from Zergrino Sports here, and today we're just going to be switching things up, I guess, a little bit on the channel. There'll still be a gameplay video out today. I think, what is today? Today is, I think, Thursday, right? Yes, it is. So Thursday is WWE 13 day. So there will be another episode of WWE 13 out later today as well, alongside this video, just in case some of you guys don't want to watch this or you don't want this to be the only content today. There will be gameplay, so don't worry. As you could probably tell by the title, though, I just wanted to quickly talk about, maybe not so quickly because I ramble, but I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on the massacre, essentially, that happened yesterday. That might still happen today. I don't really know. I don't know if all the releases are done, because there were reports that there were going to be a lot of NXT releases, but that they would only be made public if the people released made them public. I have a list in front of me from Fightful.com with the full list of those confirmed. That I'll run through in a second here, but yeah, basically, I'm just going to be talking about the mass releases that were made yesterday on the 15th, and just give my quick thoughts because I wanted to talk about it. I'm sure some of you are wondering what my thoughts about it are, and any gameplay that I would record right now would come out in like 3 weeks or so it'd be really out of date to get my opinion, so I thought I'd make my own video on it. Obviously, before we get into it, really, it sucks. It's awful. It really is awful, because in my opinion, it's really unnecessary. Because in their most recent earnings report, earnings statements that they released, WWE reported that they had $500 million cash on hand. Also, I don't know the exact figures because I don't have the financial statements in front of me, but I do know that WWE is a company that does not have a lot of debt financing, so they don't have to worry about paying off many loans and interest and stuff like that. So they don't have a lot of debt financing in terms of expenses. They had $500 million cash on hand, and it was reported that all of the releases made will save them $4 million per month, which is how much they paid Goldberg for his appearances since Saudi to Mania, but that's none of my business. So it's just, I'm sure that WWE is trying to pass this off as, oh, it's necessary because of the coronavirus, it's necessary because we need to cut costs, because our costs are going to be high and our revenues are going to be lower because we're not going to have the live show income, we're not going to have the attendance income and all that stuff. But it's awful. It's just a lie. It's Vince McMahon being like, well, shit, I had to pull the plug on XFL, which is going to lose me money, and a lot of my money is personally tied into the WWE. So basically what they're doing is, instead of them being like, you know what, we can have 2, 3, 4 months, however long this virus goes on, maybe even more, to be honest, but I'm really, like, let's say for ballpark 3 or 4 months, instead of being like, yo, let's turn a profit, but not by much, right? Instead of doing that and being like, hey, let's pay for these workers, let's make sure that they, in this time of uncertainty, they're taken care of, all that stuff. They're like, yo, fuck all you guys can go because I want to keep making a big profit instead of a little profit because I want money. That's what Vince McMahon and WWE are doing, from my understanding of things. Obviously, I don't have all the information. I don't work for WWE. But from the information that's publicly available and that I've read, that seems to be what the situation is to me. So first and foremost, I think a lot of these cuts were unnecessary. Usually cuts happen post-Mania, but the mass cuts stopped like a few years ago. In the past few years, it's just been like 1 or 2 people, 3 people being released after Mania, and that's that. But this was a fucking, like I said earlier, this was a massacre. I'll run through the list on Fightful.com. I'll link the article down in the description in case you want to read it. It gives some little descriptors for everybody and stuff like that in case you wanted to read it. But anyways, so Curt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, Leo Rush, Drake Maverick, EC3, Luke Gallows, Eric Young, Heath Slater, Kurt Angle, Aiden English, Mike Chioda, Sarah Logan, Eric Rowan, Primo Epico, Mike and Maria Kanellis, Zack Ryder, Noe Jose, and Rusev were released from wrestlers and agents, and Chioda the referee, which Chioda, by the way, has been with the company for like 31 years, which is crazy to me that he got released. I read somewhere that he recently had surgery, so I'm hoping he was just furloughed, which means, he's not actually fully released from the company. He's just on leave until they can decide to bring him back, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully he's only furloughed and not fully released. I'm hoping some of the wrestlers are in that situation as well. But those are the wrestlers that were released, quote unquote. And then on top of that, there were some backstage producers, namely Billy Kidman, Mike Rotunda, who was released 1 hour after he was on the bump. Good job, WWE. Dave Finlay, which really sucks because he was a big part of the women's revolution and all that stuff. He really went to bat for women's wrestling. Pat Buck, Sean Daivari, Scott Armstrong, Sarah Stock, Shane Helms, Lance Storm. Daivari, Helms, and Storm all recently got there. Lance Storm closed down his wrestling school so he could work for the WWE as a backstage producer. The website is saying that it appears... or Pro Wrestling Sheet reports that all these producers haven't been fully let go, but just furloughed. So hopefully that's the case as well for them. PW Insider apparently reports that some Performance Center coaches, namely Serena Deeb, Ace Steel, and Kendo Cashin, were released. The writer who was working on the Otis and Mandy storyline herself confirmed that she had been released. Alexander Jaksic, I don't really know who he is, but apparently he's a PC guy, so developmental, who confirmed he was released. MJ Jenkins confirmed she was released, and honestly, she's going through it. She's having a really rough situation because apparently, I guess, the virus took her brother-in-law and then ended up in her losing her dream job, so she's really going through it. Josiah Williams, he was doing music. He said his situation's up in the air. And then Deonna Purrazzo, which really surprises me because she has a lot of potential, and they never used her before this, and I don't get why they're releasing her right now. But yeah, from the other releases, some of the ones that really surprised me are Anderson and Gallows, not because they were being booked well or the WWE really valued them, because they didn't, but they recently both signed 5-year deals in the summer, I believe, of 2019, so that's kind of surprising. Drake Maverick is actually pretty surprising for me because he got over pretty well. He's really good. He's very versatile. He released a Twitter video crying, and it was really sad. Heath Slater is a big one for me. I thought he'd never get released because he's just such a company guy. He always... he never complains, stuff like that. So, yeah, it'll just make his world title win in 2 years when he comes back even better, right? Here's hoping. Aiden English doesn't really surprise me because they put him to commentary because they didn't want him to wrestle anymore, and he himself said he wasn't done wrestling, so he might actually be happy about that. I'm not really sure. Primo and Epico don't really surprise me. Rowan surprises me a lot. I'm not really a fan of his work, but he's a really big guy. And that's kind of WWE's thing. So that really surprised me. That really took me off guard. Zack Ryder really took me off guard. And I don't know if it took me off guard necessarily, but Rusev being released is probably the one I'm the most sad about, along with Chioda. Mainly because Chioda, if he did just have surgery, there's no free healthcare in the U.S., so whatever he had surgery on, it would have been expensive to have the surgery, the medication, the rehab, all that shit. If he needs rehab, it's got to be a big expense. And if he just recently had it, he's going to have to be paying these expenses without any income coming in. So that's really unfortunate for him. It's very, very very sad because, like I said earlier, I don't think it was really necessary. Release some of the guys, like, sure, because they were probably going to be released anyways. Like Eric Young being released, that's not surprising to me. They don't value him, which is sad because he was white hot in TNA and he came into the NXT and he was put in a great faction and he was white hot in NXT, and then Vince buried Sanity in 2 weeks on the main roster. And then they didn't treat him seriously ever since. No Way Jose, again, doesn't really surprise me. He was over in NXT, and then they just didn't really handle him well on the main roster. His gimmick was kind of limited, but, they still didn't do really their best with it. Like I said, Deonna Purrazzo was really a strange one for me. Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis, though, Ayo. Props to them, man. They came to WWE. Mike got clean. They had 2 kids. They got paid a fuck ton of money each. And then they pieced out, and they're gonna get the severance money for sure. And I'm pretty sure Maria is on pregnancy leave. So if they didn't come to an agreement with Maria to release her, if she didn't agree to being released, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to terminate somebody's contract at your company while they're on pregnancy leave, maternity leave. So I think, if I have my facts straight, she could low-key sue the WWE. So maybe they get some settlement money coming in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to make light of it just because it's a kind of a sad topic. And I like to try and keep it light on the channel. It just put me in a bad mood yesterday, and it still has me in a bad mood today. And again, we don't know who all the NXT people are that got released. I didn't watch NXT, but when I'm looking at my YouTube subscription box or whatever, I see some of the matches here. Dexter Lumis faced off against somebody called Tahuti Miles. I wouldn't be surprised if he was released. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the people who took losses on NXT end up getting released, because a lot of the people who took losses on Raw on Monday were the ones released. No Way Jose took a loss. And I think there was somebody else who took a loss that got released. Maybe not. Maybe it was just No Way. But yeah, I don't know. There was speculation that Kairi Sane might be gone because her contract was up anyways, and she's frustrated with her spot in the company, which she absolutely should be, because she's one of the most talented women in that company, and they don't push her for whatever reason. She's been eating a lot of pins lately, so I don't know if maybe there'll be more releases coming soon or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I know this video hasn't been organized. I don't like to write scripts or structure these types of videos, because I feel like it's, I don't know. I just like to talk naturally, just kind of say what I'm feeling. It might be all over the place, just because that's how my brain works. My thought process is just jumps all over the place. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to make a video. I don't know if there's much else I want to say other than the fact that I think, once again, it was really unnecessary, and that this is just a really sad day, because a lot of talented people were let go, were fired from their jobs, with nowhere to go get a new job for the time being. No wrestling company is going to be hiring right now, because no wrestling company is going to be allowed to do shows unless they go to Florida. Speaking of Florida, surprise, surprise, after WWE, or maybe just wrestling in general, was deemed an essential business in Florida, it was either the day before or the day after that a WWE affiliated political group or something, or like Linda's political group or something, donated $18.5 million to Florida. You know what I'm saying? They're willing to pay $18.5 million to seemingly bribe the Florida officials, but $4 million a month to pay people who have been loyal to your company, like Zack Ryder, who's been there 14 years, like Heath Slater, who's been there 14 years, like Rusev, who's been there 10 years. I don't like it. It puts a sour taste in my mouth, and again, the word I'm looking, the word in my mouth is just unnecessary and sad. I do think that once the coronavirus issue is dealt with and things slowly start to resume and go back to normal, and wrestling shows keep happening live, and then crowds are allowed back in and stuff like that, I do think that once that happens, a lot of these people will land on their feet. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows can either go to AEW and tear shit up, or they can go back to New Japan and tear shit up. Curt Hawkins, I think, honestly, could just thrive on the indies. Have an indie run with Zack Ryder, maybe. I feel like Curt might be one of the people who has like a handshake agreement, maybe, hopefully, with WWE. That once this is all over, he gets to come back. Maybe he's just furloughed, but I think I'm just trying to be optimistic there. I really do feel bad for Curt Hawkins as well, because his wife is pregnant, and I think she's going to have birth while this coronavirus situation is going on, which, one, is scary in terms of the health of the baby that's going to be born. Two, it's, I'd assume, financially a very big expense for their family. Once again, well, I don't have kids, so I don't know how much it would be. And even if I did, there's free healthcare here in Canada, so I wouldn't have had to deal with the expenses of it. But I'm sure that having a baby is not cheap in the U.S. of A. And so I really do feel bad for Curt Hawkins, especially. I feel bad for everybody, but Curt Hawkins is one of those that I really I'm feeling for right now, because, knock on wood, nothing happens, there's no complications, but, you never know with a newborn. Their immune systems are not good, so hopefully all the best for his family. I think he'll land on his feet, though, once wrestling resumes, hopefully. Lio Rush, I think he'll land on his feet on the indies. Drake Maverick is so goddamn talented, but people don't take him seriously because of his size. I think, honestly, wherever he goes, he'll thrive. EC3, wherever he goes, he'll kill it. I don't know what they were doing not using him. Eric Young, I hope he goes back to TNA, and then they treat him seriously again, because he's world class. Heath Slater, I'm really sad for Heath, too. I think, honestly, he'll be really over wherever he goes. Kurt Angle, I don't even know if Kurt Angle really cares at this point. I think he's probably just chilling. Kurt Angle's the type of guy who, like, whenever you see him talk these days, he's just kind of vibing, man. He's just kind of there. He's just kind of going through the motions, it looks like. But yeah, Aiden English, I think he'll probably be looking to get back to in-ring wrestling. Mike Chioda, I really hope he's just furloughed and he still has a spot in the WWE, because, 31 years, longest tenured ref in their history, and they just let you go like that. Sarah Logan, honestly, I'm sure she'll do fine on the indies. I'm not a big fan, but that's not really the point. Rowan, I'm sure he'll find a place on the indies. Primo and Epico, I'm pretty sure, have been wrestling in their father's or one of their father's promotions, even though while they were in the WWE, because he sold them their video library and shit like that. Mike and Maria, they'll thrive wherever they go. They have a spot anywhere in the indies. Zack Ryder, honestly, man, if he gets in AEW, I think he'd kill it. I think if they take him seriously in AEW, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I haven't slept because my brain's fucked. I think Zack will land on his feet. I think No Way Jose will find a spot, and I think Rusev, wherever he goes, can just turn into an indie star. Or just like an outside WWE star. If AEW pick him up, I think he has a place there. I think I'd honestly love to see him in Japan. I think he matches up stylistically with some people in Japan, and I think he could kill it over there. Once again, the producers, hopefully they all come back. Hopefully they're just furloughed and not released. And then, I hope like all the best to everybody. Deonna Purrazzo, I really don't understand from NXT. But if I'm AEW, I'm looking to sign her up ASAP because their women's division needs it. So, and I think they could just immediately push her. I've rambled on for about 20 minutes now. I think I'm probably just gonna try and stop it here before I ramble on anymore. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if this surprised you, if it didn't surprise you. Like I was expecting cuts. I wasn't expecting a fucking purge of their roster and employees. Also, they did it in a really fast way. They were like, hey, here's a conference call. You've been texted if you're let go or you're staying. The conference call lasted 5 minutes. And then like 30 minutes later, just they started announcing shit. And people were released, and it was fucking crazy. It was just like a fucking whirlwind of just, hey, here's this. Hey, here's this. Oh, it's all over. You're done. And it's like, bruh, you were like, I was just checking my feed the whole day, just fucking, is anybody else released, or is it finally fucking done? Are they gonna take a break, or are they ruining some more lives? Like, and granted, it has to be said, like, professional wrestlers, they're not the worst off people in the world to be let go at a time like this. Like, realistically, they should have some money to be able to live. Right? There are people in much worse financial situations that are having to make do. And I understand that point of it. It's just, it's never nice to see somebody fired from their job that doesn't deserve to get fired. If that makes any sense. Like, if you're like a racist piece of shit or a sexist piece of shit, or you assault somebody or whatever, then yeah, you deserve to get fired. But these people did nothing like that. They were professionals. They did their job well. They loved their job, and then they were let go on a whim. So, yeah, once again, very unnecessary in my mind. WWE is financially capable of still paying everybody. It's not just business is ruthless and this is business to me. It's just screams Vince not wanting to make a small profit, but wanting to maintain a big profit at the expense of other people's lives to line his own pockets. That's how it seems to me. So again, just a really, really sad day, couple days. Hopefully it's done. Hopefully there are no more. But again, if the NXT thing is true and that the people who were released will decide themselves if they announce it, we could see more coming today. I really don't know. But yeah, leave an F in chat, I guess. I don't know. Try to make a meme. I usually try and be more upbeat than this, but this really left a sour taste in my mouth. Just the sheer ridiculousness of it, completely unnecessary, and just an awful business practice to undertake in a time like this, in my opinion. But again, that is just my opinion. Leave your opinion in the comments. We can have a discussion if you disagree or agree. I'll end it off now. I guess it's been 24 minutes. I'm sure you people have something better to do than listen to my boring ass. Once again, WWE 13 episode will be out later today. No worries about that. There will be a gameplay video because this isn't really content for you guys. This is just me being bitter. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. We can have a discussion. And stay safe. I'm having trouble speaking. Stay safe. Stay inside. Just Wash your hands, keep clean, keep away from others, distance yourself while this all blows over, and we'll all get through this together. So, yeah, hopefully you guys not enjoyed the video. There's nothing to enjoy in this video, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video later. Hopefully you guys find something to enjoy today, whether it be playing a game, watching something. I don't know. Just keeping yourselves occupied, trying to make the best of everything. That's it for me. I'm not gonna do my usual spiel of an outro. Just stay safe. You know, and try and take it easy. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video.